Avast there, landlubbers. I'll be back for some more of my kitchen rules of seas. You clicked it, you get what you deserve. And tonight, I'll be making for you. This be episode 3, I think. 3. Tonight, I'll be making for you Buccaneer pork and chard pineapple salsa. Sounds good. I even broke out me Caribbean cooking hat. So I looked all the part, give a bit more variety, because I'm looking up your rings because I thought, probably not a good look there. Still new to this cooking malarkey game, to teach you what to do, so I figure I'll go with that, like that. So we still want to keep a bit of variety there, we still got old Wilson over here, me first mate there, keeping an eye on things, so he'll make sure we go all health and safety and everything's, tickety-boo, as I say, tickety-boo, that'll be right. So, I figure another thing I should be doing in these things is tell you what's in them at the beginning so you know what to get, right? Otherwise, you get the end and you go, what, and you think, that looked good, but I'm not going to make it. Right, so, what do you need, right? Well, you need some whale oil and butter, right? We talked about those things before, right? And you need some pork mince, right? So pork mince, we're using pork mince, right? You can go buy your pork mince, or you could put it through a couple of block and tackles and crunch it all down like that if you got a pig on board and all that kind of stuff. It's up to you which you want to go with, right? And you need, it's going to be made with rice, this dish. So we're going to make it with basmati rice, right? Basmati, right? Which is actually a Hindu word. I don't know how that got into a Caribbean meal, but that's what it is, basmati rice. I mean, basmati, actually, bas in Hindi means aroma, and mati means lots of. So lots of aroma in that rice, and if you cook it properly, right? But the trick with cooking basmati rice, okay? And with all rice, I'll show you how you cook it like that. But with this one, if you want to get the starch out, right? So what you do is you get your rice in a bucket or bowl or whatever, right? You fill it up about this much extra of the water than you actually got rice in there. And you slush it round, right? Slush it round, empty it out. You do that about 3 or 4 times. Then you start off, it'll be all milky, right? But by the end, it'll look clear and you pour it out. And that's when you know you're done. What that does, it gets all that extra starch out, right? So you don't have that glumpy rice when there. And also when you boil your water out all together, you let it absorb all the water. So you don't sort of drain it or strain it or anything like that. Because that upsets those people that eat rice all the time. Because they look at it and go, what are you doing, they say. But we'll try and do it the right way, all right? But a good trick with the basmati rice, okay, is actually to give it a good rinse off, all right? 3 or 4 times is good. You'll be able to tell. When you first do it, the water will be all cloudy, right? And then we do it the last time, well, it'll be clear and all that sort of stuff, all right? So we'll even have a look at that bit later on, all right? So, plus, what do we got? We got a zucchini, right? We're gonna grate this zucchini, so it'll be different, that'll be great, all right? We got a couple of these old capsicums, right? Cucumbers, all right? Cucumbers. Capsicum be another dish. And a couple of tomatoes, right? This is how you all going into our pineapple salsa, our chard pineapple salsa. Which means we need a pineapple. Ha-ha! See that? Good old-fashioned pineapple, right? I mean, you could use a canned one. Way you tell if they're fresh is if they pull out easy like that, right? The toppy bits. If you pull out and they come out easy, that means they're fresh, all right? So what we're going to do is we're going to chop that up into small bits, all right? So, we've got all our cooking implements down here as well. We've got the breadboard, we've got the wooden spoon, and we've got our cutlass. So we'll be taking care of business very soon, right? Sorry, cutlass. Just so you don't say it, right? All right, plus we need a lime, all right? Remember last time we had the lime? We had lemon last time. This time it's a lime. They're the green ones, right? Same deal, all right? We're gonna give that, we're gonna zest it, right? Remember the zesting, right? I can show you, right? Zesting, remember? You can use one of those little fine graters or whatever, that kind of stuff, that. Or just the edge of your cutlass, right? Just the sharp edge. So run it through, right? Run it through. And you want that little This be a closer look, right? It wasn't quite working the other way. Closer look at what it looks like. That's the zest of lime. Very similar to the zest of lemon. Only this is lime and that was lemon. Got it? Got it. Good. That's it, right? It comes off little bits like that. You can see that bit on my fingers. Yeah, like that. Oh, there we go. Just dropped a bit, but over to that. So then, after you've got that, right, you got your lime there. It's all, looking a bit ratty because you've taken all the skin off it. Now we just take the cutlass to it. we give it a good hack, all right? Just hack straight down, cut it in two, right? Because once you got 2 hours, right? Then, once you've done that, you can squeeze them in later, right? So the juices, right? Because that's what we want to do. A bit of squeeze of juice. All right. Put that aside. Put that. Pineapple, we're hacking up and all that kind of stuff. All right, we got mint. All right, mint. Just some mint from the garden, right? We're going to rough cut that up, all right? You'll see that later on. Garlic, right? Garlic, all right? They use a lot of garlic in this one, so there's like 6 cloves in there, right? About 6 or 7 cloves of garlic. And plus, remember me bag, right? For the old baby spinach. So, got a big lot of that. We're going to rough cut that up as well, and we'll stir that in later as well. All right. So, I think that's about all the beginnings of all the stuff. Oh, what else we got, right? What gives us the flavour? What makes it Buccaneer? And what is a Buccaneer, you say? What is a Buccaneer, all right? It's got nothing to do with the side of me head, all right? What is a Buccaneer? Well, I can tell you right now. A Buccaneer was an early name for a pirate. It's actually the Caribbean pirates, all right? That's why this dish comes from the Caribbean, all right? But came from the word boucan, all right? Which is actually like a cooking device, right? Basically like a barbecue. It is to dry in their meats and all that kind of stuff. And so the Buccaneers were pirates in the Caribbean, right? In the 1700s. Who used to go around and they'd get wild beef, right? They cut them down and they'd use the boucan to actually cook it up. And they'd know they were there on the side of the beach when those boats were sailing through, and they'd see the fires of them on the beach when they were doing their meats and stuff like that. And they know to stay clear and that kind of stuff. And that's how they got the name the Buccaneers. Basically, they were barbecuers. So pretty much Australian sort of pirates, weren't they? But that's what Buccaneers were, the boucan. All right, and that's to be a French word, of course. All right, now, what we're having on our pork is called jerk seasoning. Jerk! Which doesn't sound nice as a seasoning, but basically it just means that any kind of food, right, that's actually been coated in spices, all right? Coated in spices, right? Like beef jerky, is on the same family as that kind of stuff like that. So the spices we're going to use, right, to make our jerk, right, which is the spice covering that we'll put in through the meat and all that, and give it all the flavour and stuff like that, right? And so, so I mean the spices. The spices we have, right, are sweet paprika, right, allspice, garlic powder, nutmeg, and Cajun pepper. Cayenne pepper, right? So that's right, that gives it spice. And cayenne pepper, you'll vary how much you want to put in because that's where the real kick comes in there, right? So, all right, and we'll have some salt and pepper, of course, and that kind of stuff. And we'll mix them all together, and then we'll mix that in with our things. And that's will be the jerk flavouring for our Buccaneer pork, and charred pineapple. All right, I'll just have a hack of this pineapple, and then we'll head up and do the rest of our prep. Up on the deck where we do most of our cooking. Oh, where the stoves are. We don't like stoves down here in the basement of the old ship here, because down here in the room here, the bilge and all that might catch fire and all that sort of stuff, and it's all wood everywhere, and it's a bit scary, right? So we'll just hack up the pineapple here, and then I'll let up, right? But don't you go changing, because we'll be back after these messages. Just joking. We'll be back right now. There you go. Slice it off. Now we'll be cutting down the edges there like that. Oh, cutting down the edges, all sides, and then just get a nice little bit so you can clean up to cook, right? Don't want any of that skin on there, right? That. So we chop it up into small bits, so ready to be barbecuing up. Lovely pineapple there, full of vitamin C and K, which are good vitamins there for, getting your immunity up and saving you from scurvy. And vitamin K is good because it clots the blood. And as a pirate, you want to be old but clot your blood when you're being skewed by one of these. They're good for other things, boys. Besides cooking, I see. Anyway, that's pineapple. Lovely stuff. So we're cooking up some basmati rice, all right? But about a cup of basmati rice, you'll need 3 cups of water when you're actually doing the cooking. So it's 1 to 3, all right, to actually cook it up proper, right? Get it all absorbed. But first, we're going to rinse it off like we talked, all right? So just add some water, all right? All right, so you just cover it, and swish it about, right? Just swish it about. Should go
See how cloudy that water is? That's the starch coming out, right? So we get all that starch out, right? So we do that about 3 times, all right? 3 times, and the 4th time it should be pretty clear. But look at that water there. Can you see that water, how it's a bit cloudy, right? Just wash that around, right? And I'll come back after 3 more times. All right, we're back for the 4th time. Can you see that? Looks pretty clear now, right? That's all pretty clear. So that'll keep, the rice will be light and fluffy because a lot of the starch is out, right? Because the starch is what makes it gloopy. But we don't want it gloopy, we want it light and fluffy because we're fluffy pirates. Arr. Right, with the garlic and that, we jumped ahead and all the other chopping really because, you know, you see me wheel me cutlers around areas getting a bit samey in all these different videos, so I think I'll mix up a bit. But I just want to go over the garlic thing again, right? Remember the easiest way to garlic, get it to peel, right? If you're going to cut it up, just lean your blade on it, like that. So when you crush it, all right, skin, once you crushed it right, comes right off, see, easy. Just a bit of a crush with your blade, skin comes right off, all right? Any blade will do it, especially a cutlass, all right? And then you just cut it up fine like the rest of it there, right? So we just cut it up fine from there, right? And with bikinis, you see, we've, what they call this is called grating, right? And you can use a grater to grate these up so you get nice thin strides, right? Because it gets cooked up with the pork a bit later, right? Or you can do like we do, and if you've got a weird bob, because we've got weird bob, and we use these teeth because the surgeon, when he got his teeth knocked out, gave him just use the broken tips of cutlasses to make his teeth, but he made them slightly protruding, right? So they just hang out of his lip, so he can run the old zucchini against his teeth, and it sort of drops down in the bowl below, and it gives it a unique sort of flavour as well. But you could just use a grater, but for me, I can't go past using Weird Bob's teeth. Right, so this be the mixture for our jerk spicy mix, all right? Okay, so first up, you got your cayenne pepper, right? So you don't want too much of that. That's about 3/4 teaspoon, right? Just enough to get you going, all right? Then we've got our paprika, right? There, right? That's about a bit over a tablespoon there, right? To go with it, right? And this be your garlic powder, so that'd be 2 tablespoons of garlic powder for my special mix, right? And about a tablespoon of nutmeg, all right? And then we finish off with the allspice. That's about a tablespoon as well. That's sort of the mix we've got here, right? To give us those right blender spices, to get that sort of Buccaneer flavours coming through, right? And we're just going to add that to the mince in a moment. Thank you. Right, so you've got a medium-sized pan, right, that you have a lid for, right? You need one that you can actually put a lid on to seal it up, right? All right. Into that pan, you add the butter. Remember I told you that's some butter, right? So just grate that off with the old. Don't we feel that? Very hygienic. Disinfected with Englishman's blood, as it is. There we go. Get that going. Okay. Just get that melt right. Get a bit of melt on that. And a little bit of whale oil in there as well. Just a splash. And into that heady brew, right, we add about half of our garlic, right? About half of it. Need some more later. About half there, right? You let that get all aromatic, right? Get that in there, getting all aromatic. Right, and you see that's been going for about a minute or two, right? So now we got our rice, right? Remember, it's been rinsed off. That rice, got all that in there. That's a cup of rice, to which we add 3 cups of water. All right, 3 cups of water. Now we bring that to the boil. Right. Right. Once the rice is boiled, all right, boiling like that, then you reduce your heat right down again, right? Right down to low, right? And then cover with a lid, right? You let it simmer along like that on low for about 10 minutes. Then you remove it from the heat, right? You keep it covered, and the rice will go tender, right? And the water is absorbed. You just leave it there till the rice is tender and absorbed, and that'll take a further 10 minutes or so, right? So you just leave that to sit aside and just does its own business, okay? But for now, it's just on low for 10 minutes, right? Off the heat, low for 10 minutes. Now that rice is doing its business, we're gonna sort out a little bit more whale oil, just for the pan, right? And these are our chunks, all right? They didn't really matter what they look like. They're chunks of pineapple, right? These chunks of pineapple, quite tasty. All right, but we're gonna cook them up. Oh, they're sweet pineapple, actually, very nice. So we're throwing them on there, right? Notice we cut out all the black bits, nothing on the side there. Beautifully cut pineapple. Nice and fresh. You could use canned stuff with this if you want to go cans, right? Yeah, let's see, and that's all you got. But we use fresh because we're in the Caribbean. So there we go. Now we're just going to brown that up, right? Just like that. So medium sort of right. Just brown it all up. Right, you can see that they're charring up nicely. See that there? Nicely charred up. So in a minute, I'll be transferring them to Mr. Werner's bowl, right? The mixing bowl. Just rough cut them up a bit, right? So they're just the smaller little chunks, nice chunky charred chunks. Gives us that chardy flavour, the pineapple salsa, right? And then I'll be just getting on to the mince, right? All right. Right, so it's been about 10 minutes, so I've taken the rice off the heat now. And it's just down in there with the lid still on, right? And it's just absorbing all the rest of the water, so it comes up nice and light and fluffy. In the meantime, I'm adding a bit more of my whale oil right in, because it's time to cook the pork. Right, got ourselves some pork mince, nice and healthy. Nice and healthy pork mince, right? Just throwing that in there like that. Good. To that, we're going to add our zucchini, right? Lovely zucchini in there. We're just going to brown all that up together, right? Moist and brown. Cooking all that up, right? Just mix that around the oil till it's fully cooked. You see, while you cook it, right, you stir it around and break up the bits of mince, right, so they're nice and fine. You see that, got a nice sort of texture, right? You don't want the lumps of meat all through it, yeah. A nice fine porky mince, and just stirring that all through. Get it nice and cooked through, nice and brown. Get it all ready. Alright, that's just finishing off there. You'll see it's just finishing off. I'm going to add the rest of my garlic there, right? Just that finely cut garlic in there. Get those garlic aromas all around it, right? Stir them in. Get them cooking up. Freshen up there, nice smelly garlic there. I love a bit of that, eh? And now, remember all our spices. Remember our tray of spices here, right? See all those spices, right? Wow. Spices be treasures in how to eat. And Dutch traders and all that used to love stealing the spices off, and you get a good market for it, right? All this be worth a fortune. In trade, we just adding it all in there, right? All in. All those lovely mix of spices create our jerk, right? Now, right, mixing that all in there so it's getting all coating it. Remember, jerk is about coating all that mince. Alright, coating it all with those spices, all those lovely spices. Get that mixture around so we get all those flavors and mixing together. Lovely spicy aromas. You can see it all mixing in there, right? You can see all that mixing in. Now, we don't want it to be like dry. It's not like we're making salted beef here, is it? Right? We want a bit more flavour. So what we do to do that, we're just going to make it a bit more saucy, right? By adding a bit of water, right? Who'd have thought water would be make something saucy? But there you go. Now you know. Alright, it's as saucy as it gets around here, I'll tell you. Right, here we go. Just get that mixing in there. And you just keep, if you need to add a little bit more water, you add a bit more water, just depending on what you like. Just make it a bit more saucy like that. Alright, so just keep cooking that through as we go. And there you go. You see I added a little bit more water just to make it a nice little bit runny. But you can see how lovely brown, how it's all coated. That's just about right. Oh, rather large lump of zucchini there, but you know that'll add the flavour. That'd be like the bonus, you know? The one that gets the sixpence. The sixpence shape bit of zucchini there. Alright, that's nice. That's going to sit on that rice right nice there. Alright, I think we'll just do the charred pineapple salsa and we'll be ready to plate up. Excellent. Right, it'd be time for our charred pineapple salsa, right? So as you can see, we've rough cut up, some of them not quite as rough as others, just rough cut up the pineapple, right? It's nice and charred, all that like that. Now we add our other ingredients, remember? Your tomato, just rough tomato, right? Your cucumber, your mint rough cut, and your zesty lime. Remember the old zest of the lime, right? So we just mix all that in there like that. Right, and to that mixture, right? Right, so you're just mixing that in, right? And we want just a dash of oil, right? Which again could be olive or whale. Like I used to use whale because it's a round, right? Odd whale we run into. So just a little drizzle of that, right? We squeeze in some lime juice, right? That's it, good lime juice. Right, squeeze all that in there, like that, squeeze her out, like that. Okay, mix that all together. And a lovely salsa there. And that be a gorgeously colourful looking, appetizing charred pineapple salsa. Look at that, it's beautiful. Now we got our fluffy rice. See how fluffy that is, fluffy and light, right? Because it's got all the starch out of it, right? To that, we're gonna add our rough cut baby spinach, right? We're just gonna stir that through. Right. And lots of goodness in the baby spinach. So I got lots of it there, all right? It makes you strong. Lots of sailors think it makes you strong. I remember Popeye used to like the old spinach. Don't know if he ate baby spinach or babies, but you know. So we mix that through. Just roughly mix that all through. Right, to give us a nice flavoursome and healthy rice. Right. Right, now we get our pork. Just ladle that liberally on top of that there like that. Lovely. Lovely flavours all that jerk. Alright. Into that we add our salsa on top. Alright. Look at those flavours there, eh? Beautiful and colourful, right? Your other half of your lime, right? Other half of your lime, just give that, cut it in a quarter like that, there in the wedges. Or, you know, more. You serve that on the side. And that way people can spray a bit more lime on there if they like. All right, there it is. Lovely. What we call that? We call that Buccaneer pork. Buccaneer pork with chard pineapple salsa. Arr. And a bit of rice. What could be nicer than that? And healthy. You'll be much unlikely to be getting scurvy when you're eating a fine dish like this. Arr. But that's be the end of my kitchen rules for the day. So I think I'm just going to whistle this off and I'm going to go upstairs and have a bit of a bite to eat myself because it's been a long and wearisome day. So we'll be finishing here. All I can say is my kitchen rules to see. Arr. So Wilson, what do you think, hey? Arr, look at that. Oh, lovely, eh? Lovely, you keep your beak out of that. That's be mine. Oh, I know some of the plating up needs something to be desired, but it's hard to keep when you're at sea, right? And things are rocking backwards and forwards. It is hard to keep things balanced on top like they do in other TV shows and all that kind of stuff. But you get the idea of the flavours, and you can plate up something your own thing when you're not on a deck that's moving underneath your feet. All right? But talking about moving underneath your feet, I think it's time I moved my feet up into the yard arms. I think I'm going to help the yard arms get some peace and quiet up there, just to munch away at this and keep away from this pesky bird, because it'd be the time for us to end my kitchen rules to see. So, without little ado, I'm going to pipe us all down. We can go and have some bite to eat, and maybe, just maybe, we can get a little bit of rest. That'll be fine. That was a bit of a musical interruption, and I don't know why. So, Wilson, what do you reckon? Buccaneer pork with charred pineapple. Salsa. That pineapple will be good to keep away the scurvy. And to keep our blood clotting. Clotting and clotting. Okay, it's his wooden shoes and keeps our blood in at the same time. It's fantastic, didn't I tell you that? But there it is, all right? I know some of the plating's been a bit to be desired. Wilson's very picky about that kind of stuff. But you know, when you're on the sea and it's rocking backwards and forwards, it's very hard to keep these things all balanced, like some telly. But it's got lots of colours and flavours and all right that. And it looks exciting. And it's a lovely disc to have there. Give you a taste of summer in spring. So that's what it's good for. A taste of summer in spring. That's what a Buccaneer pork does for you. But right now, I'll be heading up deck. All right, to gobble some of this down. And then maybe I'll get in some shut-eye, because it's been a long, tiring day out at sea today. It's been a bit rough. But we've got through it. And now it's time for me to pipe us all down so we can enjoy this. And we can get a bit of rest. So I'll be seeing me buckos. I gotta go back to pipe school, I think. I'll be so good smoking it. Right, so I'll be just whistling us all down now as we head off to have a bit of a nap. All right. So I'll be just piping us all down now. We're gonna head off to be a nap. I think I'll be taking off me. But now it's time for me to take off me Caribbean cooking hat, pull up me pipe, and whistle us all down. The bosun's whistle. To whistle us all back down to have a nap at the end of a long and tiring day. I'll be seeing you next time on My Kitchen Rules the Seas. I might even try a dessert next time. Who knows? I don't. Do you?